Hello and welcome back to Tommy's Top Picks Weekly Roundup Podcast, episode 47. I'm your host, Tommy, joined by John.
How's it going?
Good. Had a nice weekend away.
Yeah.
Went up to the Poconos. Relaxed. Finished the first week of my new job.
Nice.
Very exciting. Went great. People are all very nice. And I opened a crap ton of Dynasty.
Yeah, that helps.
That is our topic this week. How was your Dynasty opening experience?
All right, so I have to start out with a statement about this. I haven't gotten all of my Dynasty still.
Really? How much are you still waiting for?
Just the case.
Okay.
But it's like, this is over a week. It was supposed to get here yesterday, and then it got rerouted. So it's UPS. It's not like the shop or anything else. It was pure UPS. It was literally supposed to show up yesterday. I was really excited. All my stuff was coming, and it didn't. It got rerouted. So
that's annoying.
Bad luck. Very bad luck on this. But I have opened a fair amount, so I can chime in a little bit.
Good. But yes, that will be our main topic. Usually we talk about what we pulled, but we'll save that for the main topic. What did we play?
Tile Shard.
Yeah, that was fun.
I played a lot of Tile Shard. I played a wizard that goes burr. It was fun. It doesn't really work, but it was fun. I'm hoping it can work someday, but it's not there yet.
Yeah, I'm all in on Assassin. I'm all in.
Because it mills, and you're like milling.
Yep.
You're like, I don't care if I suck. I'm still gonna mill.
Absolutely. I'm going to make the most degenerate
millie deck I can.
Millie deck I can. Will it be good? Hell no. Will it be fun? Yes.
I've seen some additions to the standard lists.
Yeah.
Take a look what's out there, because I think there's a way to get it better than it was.
Oh, than the first version. Absolutely. And one of them that I thought was really interesting was the new fan.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll talk about that when we get into. Oh, I know. This is where we're talking about what we're playing. I was playing just kind of like a standard list, playing a lot of the contracts. And then just like Command and Conquer. Basically, the idea that I've found works best right now is you are very tanky, blocking a lot, and attacking once. So all of your contracts cost 0, except for some of them that cost 1, and one of them that costs 2. So most of the time, you can get away with blocking with 3 cards and then playing a card, or even having Tunic so that you can get off those 1s as well. Maybe you save your 1 for the turn you have the Tunic. You don't block with the 1 cost and just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
But that makes it very hard, because you're very willing and able to put down cards and still make some progress in the fight.
Yeah. Downside, doesn't play well into setup decks. Setup deck seems to be how everyone has been teched with this set. Everyone has gotten setup cards in this supplemental set.
Yep.
So you're giving them more time to get things done if you're playing Turtle.
But hopefully you banish some of those important pieces.
Well, that's the key. You banish those, and then you try to get them to mill out. Like, they take too long to set up.
Yep.
I mean, we played one game. You played into the Michael Hamilton Icelander, I believe it was.
Multiple times.
Yeah, and I was down to 2 cards left.
Yeah.
2 cards left, and one of them was the card I needed to finish the game. I was waiting for it for like 9 turns, and it was like one of the very last cards in my deck. And I was so lucky that it didn't get milled out. But we kept checking. Like, we kept checking the bench. Like, where the hell is that thing? Because we knew it was inevitable. It was coming. Last 2 cards. It was crazy.
But yeah, just really enjoying the gameplay. Really enjoying the style of play. I think I've been waiting for a deck like this that I can kind of just fall into.
Yeah, hang with for a while.
And
that was my Icelander thing. She came out. She wasn't great, but she was fun anyways. Just feeling the play pattern, knowing you're going to lose a lot because it's not optimized yet, but enjoying it anyways.
Right.
Yeah. Now she's good.
And maybe we'll get an assassin in the next draft set in 4 months.
We'll definitely. Well, yeah, that's a good question. If we don't get an assassin in the draft set, you won't get more cards, right? So
not until the following set.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
Maybe some generics, but nothing really to change up my gameplay, I guess.
So after doing a bit of research, I have a feeling we are going to metrics next. So does that mean we get pits and assassin cards from the pits?
That'd be cool.
Possibly. Yeah, because you may or may not have noted, and this is the extent of my research. It's really silly that I didn't notice it before, but um the oh my god, what are they called? The mechanologist. I kept saying metrics in my head. I'm like, the metrics. No, that's not what they're called. The mechanologist
Yeah. Yep.
got more cards than most, and
Well, they got a
it
whole new archetype.
and their archetype, which feels incomplete. By the way,
Right.
if you're out there and you have a good mech transformer list or Voltron list, however you want to call it, I think it's more. I think Transformer. I was going back and forth on this. I think Transformer is a better name for it because you transform, right? It's not Voltron, as in you strap on pieces, right? That's how Voltrons work in Magic.
Oh,
It's
well,
more of
Voltron
a
is like a
trans.
TV show.
They're both TV shows. That's why it's fun, and they're both robots, but they do it differently. A Voltron is like add a piece, add a piece, add a piece,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And in Magic, that's what it was. It was like you add an artifact onto your thing, you add another artifact, and then it gets bigger and bigger with each step. This is a transformer. It's get all the pieces and then transform.
I
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
I
alright,
don't agree
whatever,
with
we
that
can go back and
analogy.
forth on this one. Anyways, if you have a good Voltron/Transformer deck for
Voltron's the
Dash,
shit.
let me know, because I really do wanna give it a shot, but I feel like it's not there yet. I have not experimented much, though, so I don't know. So, leave that in the comments.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it will do very well into all these arachnes.
Yeah, it does give a lot of time to set up. You do get to eat away some of the pieces along the way, but you can duplicate them, so it's not the end of the world.
Maybe that's the next testing we can do because
Yeah,
I think
we
I
should.
think that
That'd
should
be
be an
fun.
interesting one because you're also boosting, which is also banishing.
I feel like you shouldn't be boosting if you're trying to go for the mechanoid.
You absolutely should because you have
Why?
cards that can get them out of the banish zone.
They get him out of the banish zone too? I didn't
Yeah,
realize that.
graveyard. Yeah.
No, graveyard or banish zone? Because I thought it was just graveyard, in which case it doesn't work for the banish
Mm,
zone. I think it's just graveyard.
just graveyard. I thought there
Yeah,
was a
yeah, I could be wrong. I'll check it
yeah
out. We'll dig into it. But
yeah
yeah, I want to give that a shot next because I haven't messed with that yet, and it looks interesting, even if it's not optimized yet.
yeah.
I do like the idea of it, though. I really do.
Oh, it's
So,
super cool. And you pulled the cold foil, right?
no,
No.
I pulled the rainbow foil.
I gotcha.
So I am sad. I did not, as usual. My pulling luck is not great. Not great.
All right. Well, do we want to hop into
Yeah,
that?
let's jump on. Yeah.
But before we hop into that, let's talk about some comics. So we have another channel, and it is called Tommy's Top Shelf Comics. And if you are interested in comic books, you should check it out because every week we do a top 5 comics of the week. And this week we did a top 5.
And welcome back
And
to Tommy's top 5
You
comics
are
for the
hearing
week of.
that right now because I was pulling up the video where it says our top 5. So, our number 5 is Batman One Bad Day, Mr. Freeze, which has been a awesome kind of one-shot story. Like, so there's been these One Bad Day books where it's a one-shot written by a creative team that doesn't typically write Batman, which has been really interesting seeing all these new voices and artists on the characters, but they target one villain and make a book, an oversized issue about them. This one was about Mr. Freeze. And then we have number 4 was Star Wars Hidden Empire, which is the new Star Wars event kicking off. Super kind of dark, crazy group in the Star Wars universe coming out of hiding for the first time in a very long time. And the last time they appeared, it was not a good time. So it should be interesting. Number 3 was I Hate Fairyland. We have Gert back as an adult, being forced to do stuff she doesn't want to do, like go back to Fairyland because she hates it. But it's all she knows. And then number 2, Gold Goblin. Number 1, Norman Osborn's a good guy as a Gold Goblin superhero. Will it last? Probably not. But it's fun while it lasts. Murphy's not. I don't think Murphy's really on board for it. He's excited to see it, but he's still salty about all of his sins being taken away from the Sin Eater. It's a whole story. If you were curious, we talked about it. There's a Spider-Man. Oh, that's on this channel. That's on Tommy's Top Picks. You can find that here. But we're gonna be doing a bunch of other comic book videos there, leading up to our number one, which was Nightwing 98, which introduced a new character, Nightmite. It's like Batmite, but Nightwing's version. It's a little imp demon thing version of the character that comes and causes nonsense. And this is their first appearance. And I'm a big Nightwing fan, so a new appearance in a Nightwing book gets the number one spot. That's how it works. I'm biased. And so, if you're interested in comic books or any of those sound interesting, you can go check out our channel, Tommy's Top Shelf Comics, and hear about in much more depth about what we think about these books. And every week we come out with a new top 5, and then we have a bunch of other kind of random stuff that we talk about, news and discussions, and we're going to be doing some series overviews, kind of going over a whole series. I think Invincible is the first one we're still trying to put together, but it's taking a lot of research, a lot of time, but it will be worth it when it comes out.
And
yeah,
if you need help finding your way over to Tommy's Top Shelf or Tommy's Top Tabletop, there's a link in the description now. It's a link tree that goes to all the things.
Yeah, so in the description, there's a link tree, and you can see all of the crazy things we do because we hate free time.
That's exactly right.
So, but now let's get into our main topic, which is how was your opening? So how was your opening, John? How did you enjoy opening Dynasty?
All right. I like new sets. I like new things. I like exploring them. The fact that they came a week after everyone else definitely put a real damper on the excitement for me, I have to say. I was kind of like almost annoyed. I was like, now I gotta open this. I've seen everything. Everyone's got cool stuff. I don't got cool stuff yet. So anyways, I was opening it, and my typical luck prevailed, which means I didn't pull all that much. That was spicy. So it wasn't great. I don't know. I think going forward, I'm not going to open as much. I think I'm just going to get like one case to open, one for the shelf, and then get singles, because it seems the way the cards work out, at least in this set, you can just buy the singles, get everything you need very easily for cheap, and spend a lot less money, which is always true. And especially for a supplemental, I don't play most of these classes.
Right.
So for me, 80% of the cards aren't all that interesting. And I play a lot of classes, so it still feels like I don't play these classes. Like, I'm not going to play Assassin. I don't really play Warrior, although I thought about it for a few minutes. I don't play Ranger.
The cleave stuff is interesting.
Yeah.
There's some axe tech. I feel like
the axe. Well, that was the thing. I didn't actually like axe. Like, I was hoping there was a dagger dory, and I would have done that. But it doesn't really work. I tried it on Talishar, so that kind of killed it for me. I guess I could go axe. I haven't tried the new axe. Like, I don't know if that's any good, and I don't know Warrior well enough to like improvise new stuff. You know what I mean?
I think with Dory, Dawnblade's still the answer, and
it is.
With Kasai, the Centauri Sabers are still.
And those I mean, and matter. Dory's new Iron Pride, whatever that thing is called.
Pride.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
that card is just gross. Like, I don't know if Dory's back in the meta now, but that card is gross. I ran into someone on Talishar with it, and I was like, "Good God, that's amazing!"
Yeah,
it's really good. You get to play it at the end of your opponent's turn, and then automatically starts taking effect on your turn. It's fantastic. And it stays, and it keeps adding, and it's gross. It's gross. Anyways, so yeah, that really kills. Yeah,
because it says put a +1 counter on target sword you control. Oh,
yeah.
So at the beginning, that's at the beginning of every action phase.
Yeah,
your action phase.
Yeah.
That's unclear.
And it doesn't go away unless something happens. There is something that can get it to go away. At the
beginning of your end phase, if a sword has not hit this turn.
That's it. Yeah. So if you fail to Dory, then your Dory power up goes away, just like every other Dory thing you do.
Yeah. That's just
so you just put that in a reaction heavy deck, and you're good.
Dang, maybe I go that way.
It's gross. It is gross. This guy wrecked me. I was like, I'm gonna keep playing. I was like, you've won, but I'm gonna keep playing because I want to see these lines of play. Sure. He's like, yeah, man, it's awesome. is cool. So anyways, it's gross. It also means daggers is useless because everyone needs to focus on that Dawnblade tech because
Yeah.
that's so good.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Which is sad. And I don't really want to play Dawnblade because Dawnblade Dory is like Dawnblade Dory, right? I feel like that's happened a lot. I'll play Daggers Dory or something else. But anyways, yeah. So
I still need 2 more copies of that dang Classic Battles card. Has that gone down?
Nope. I almost bought a Dory deck and was looking at that card, which is why I know. So
Yeah.
this leads me to topic number 2. I actually don't even want to go and look through my cards. I have most of my cards are really well sorted, or at least sorted enough that I can find anything I need as I need it. I was thinking about building a Dory deck, and I found myself just dropping them into the TCG player card instead of bothering to go to the boxes that they're all in.
That's a John thing.
It is a John thing, and this is a thing that makes sense. Like,
yeah, sure.
because a couple $100 buys you a deck once you have the equipment, which I do for most of it, and it's easier to just click buttons than it is to actually go through 7 different sets that all have warrior cards in them.
Not for me. Not the way my cards are set up.
Most of my warrior stuff is all easily findable. It's still a pain in the butt, and then you have to leave gaps in your stuff. It's bad. And then you have to put it back if you change your mind and don't want to play it.
Yeah.
Just buy new ones. Just buy all the singles.
John, that's a John thing.
They're 20 cents. They're 10 cents. They're 5 cents. They're really cheap.
Yeah, that's a cold.
It's ridiculously cheap.
I don't know. Not all of them. I mean, again, this classic battle cards.
Yeah, a handful aren't. You're right. And that's where you're spending most of the money is those few. So, okay, go dig out your M's, which I all have in a separate section specifically because I know those are ones I'll dig out.
Right.
And they're easier to find. So, yeah.
But I can open one box and I can have WTR through Monarch and a playable set of everything.
That is a huge box. How much does that weigh?
It's not. It's really not, John.
It has to be.
It's not.
Well, then you don't have everything.
In the set? Yeah, I do. Minus like a handful of cards that would not make a weight difference.
Oh, that's crazy. I must have extras then, because I have almost 1,000 cards in every set. Now I know I do have duplicates and rainbow foils, and what else do I have in there? Maybe that's okay. Maybe I could just trim down my collection more, but it'd just be a pain in the ass. I don't want to do all that. It's a bunch of work. It's a bunch of work. But anyways, that's ultimately what I came to. I was like, damn, even now that I have all these cards and I have them sorted, I'm probably never going to go over there and pull them out again because I don't want to have to sort them again. It's a pain in the butt.
Do you remember those months and months on the podcast where I was like, I'm still sorting cards.
Yeah.
Still sorting cards. I finished.
Yeah, but if you pull them out to make a deck and then you go put that deck away, you have to resort them again.
It's easy.
It's not that easy. It's a pain in the butt. It's a monstrosity.
Not that bad.
It's all this effort taking cards out and put them in. Click a button. A couple $100. My time's worth that.
Okay. So just play Talishar then. Then why do you need any cards?
Nah, because I do like playing in person. It's definitely different when you play in person.
Right.
Like I do enjoy that. But it's just I don't know. That's what I came to the conclusion of after all this. I'm like, I'm spending a lot of time, energy, and money to get all these cards that I actually don't want to play. Like I don't want to pull them out once I get them sorted. I'd rather keep them sorted. Sure. Now, it doesn't mean I don't want the cards because I do want the cards. I mean, I like the collecting side of it a lot.
Right.
But I could easily just not buy a set, wait for the prices to come down, pick up a deck list, buy that with a deck box, label it Dagger's Dory, label it Dynasty Brute, label it, Icelander, Hamilton Icelander, because I'll play that again and again and again. Even if it's out of meta, I'll still play it because it's fun. I enjoy playing it. You know what I mean? And then that's a much easier life.
That's definitely a way to do it.
And way more affordable.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Because once you have the core equipment, the decks are dirt cheap. Yeah, it's way more affordable. Think about it. 2 cases is $700.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. No, I know. I agree.
Yeah, it's way cheaper to buy 3 decks for $200 to $250 each. Probably less than that because that's usually with the price
Hamilton
of
Icelander isn't
equipment. What's it?
That is a heart in it.
I already have a heart.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I mean. Like, I have all the core stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So for me, it is cheaper just to buy this, like the few singles that I might need. Even if I'm like buying all of the basic singles and stuff, it's still cheaper. The only exception is probably if I want to bling anything out, which additionally, it's easier to bling it out if you just have set decks that you like.
Oh,
And,
absolutely.
and then I can spend all my money on bling, which I love bling.
Yeah, that seems like a much better way to do it.
It does seem like a better way. That was the conclusion I came to after opening a bunch of boxes. So, I don't know. We'll see what I do next set. I think I'll just open a case.
I feel like that's what we say every time, and then you.
And I have reduced the amount I've gotten every
I
time.
know, and so I'm
Yeah,
wondering how,
like
like, if because I agree. Like I said the same thing, and I have reduced it every time since Everfest. Everfest was 5 cases, and then uh, kept one on the shelf, and then Uprising was 4 cases, kept one on the shelf, and then Dynasty was 3 cases, but I opened all. So I will need to buy a shelf case. But
yeah, I still haven't bought my Uprising shelf case, and the price went up.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it only went up a little bit, but it went up. It was down at like 250 for a
Yeah.
minute, and now it's like 315 again.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not sure if it was a map or people selling below map. Speaking of that, by the way,
It could be just
I don't know.
reduced print runs.
It could be. Yeah, I think 2.0 is working. I mean,
don't-
ultimately, I think it's a good thing. I just was like, dang, I missed the low, you know?
Right.
Like,
I
I
mean,
wasn't paying close enough attention.
We don't know that we've heard that it's a reduced print run. We don't know, obviously.
Well, and the other factor to that is there could be another wave because remember, that's part of
Exactly.
2.0 is
Yeah.
that they do plan to do waves. I said this on my market update. Don't expect this to just go up from here because
No.
they'll probably release another wave because this is the latest
draft.
draftable, and they're not going to have another draftable for another, what, 3 months, 4 months, whatever it is.
Right.
So
but do they need to have more waves of supplemental?
Probably not. I'm
Right.
guessing supplementals don't sell as fast.
Right.
That's my guess. I don't know for sure, but that's my guess.
Although from what I've heard, like besides you and I, a lot of people have been opening a lot of Dynasty.
Good. Then
Yeah.
it's not me. I mean, then it's me and not the situation.
I think we've been in it for a while now, and we are figuring out what works for us.
For us, yeah, it's optimizing time, money, energy. You know, that's the thing. Although I am getting damn good at sorting cards. I'll tell you that. I finished that so fast. I was like, wow, I finished this all in like one day.
Yeah, the BCW sort tray. I'm a fan. I got all.
Okay. I don't use that.
I got all my bulk sorted by class in a day, and that's 3 cases.
Yeah, Uprising still 314. I'm looking for Dynasties because it dropped below map the other day. I was looking at for a while. Like there was a bunch of sales below map of Dynasty on TCG Player. Why is it not showing up? Man, oh, there it is. 339 now. Yeah, now it's above map. Oh no, that is below map. Yeah, it's below map again.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 340. I mean, it's only like $11 below map, but people are selling it. I actually wonder if this has to do with Magic.
What do you mean?
Because shops make their money on Magic. They live off of Magic, and Magic is having issues in certain places with certain crowds. I mean, didn't you say some event didn't fire the other day at our shop?
Oh no, that's nothing to go off of.
Well, I imagine that happened in lots of shops. In some shops, that probably is the difference for them, you know?
Yeah.
Because that was like at least a month ago at this point, too. And then there's been more stuff since then.
Infinity draft, yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, if Magic really does like get its butt kicked real hard, that could end some LGSs because they literally do live off of it.
Absolutely. And so, okay, so here's the question. Here's a thought. Does hypothetical situation here, right? Magic moves more towards a digital future, right?
Yep.
And kind of is milking paper Magic for what they can before doing that.
Yep.
And us losing LGSs along the way, how much does that hurt these other TCGs that aren't going digital that need those LGSs?
Well, think about it this way. If you're Magic, what's the best way to dominate the market? by destroying the channels that your competition works through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because essentially Magic has been supporting these other games.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So I see no reason why they wouldn't do that.
I mean,
From a pure money making standpoint, which a stock based corporation, publicly traded corporation, is always pure money making standpoint.
yeah,
That is the move.
lame.
Yeah. And it will kill all these other games, or it will hurt them severely. Because there's no way in hell, Flesh and Blood is at this point where it can keep all the stores alive that are out there. It just can't. Even if everyone shifted over, it wouldn't be fast enough. It wouldn't be prolific enough. I mean, think about how many people just are unwilling to change because of how big their collections are in the cars, and they
Sure.
want to start
Sure.
over, all this other stuff. Like, if that happened, if that really happened over, say, like a 2-3 year period or whatever, it would be devastating for a lot of these other games.
Absolutely. I mean, I think we'd lose a lot of games. I don't think
Yeah.
we would lose Flesh and Blood. But
No, because Flesh and Blood at least has like its own tournament
yeah,
structure built up and going.
yeah,
But if they can't, like, think about how many was it Pro Quests were at all the stores. What was it, like 2,000 last year or something?
yeah.
I
I mean,
think that's
that's
what
where
it
it
was.
starts.
Yeah, but what happens if those stores are all shut down and it's less than 500
Right. I
in the
know.
US?
I know. More road trips.
Like, seriously, like, it gets crazy, and then they'll all sell out because ours sold out, didn't it? And
Yeah.
we have some shops in the area. It's not just the one.
There are areas that have a lot more shops. I was
Mhm.
playing against a guy uh, at the Philadelphia Battle Harden. I played against a guy from New York City. There are armories every night of the week. Flesh and Blood in New York is wild, and I really want to go and just spend some time and check out that scene because they have armories. There's enough game shops in the city to have an armory every night.
I wonder. So that would be an interesting case study. Like,
And there are
how
people that
how
go.
much do those shops live off of, like, Magic? Do they have Magic games every night? Like, I don't know, modern one night standard another night.
Well,
You know
no,
what I mean? Like,
no, it's not. It's not the same shop that has an armory every night because a shop can only have one armory a week.
oh, I see what you're saying.
There's
So
just
you go to
enough
shop
shops.
A
Yep,
tonight, you go to
yep,
shop B on
right,
Wednesday. I see.
right.
Yeah.
Because yeah, again, shops can only have, and that might be something Flesh and Blood can move on and take advantage and build space in
So
the industry by allowing more than one armory a week if shops are able to support it.
that would
Like
be cool.
that
That'd be
would be
cool.
awesome. Like if I could go to Red Caps twice a week, would I?
Yeah. So here's the thing,
Probably
though.
not every week, but I would most weeks. Now that it's
Here's
more
the thing,
convenient
though.
for me to get
This
there.
is this is where it gets tricky, and this is where the dynamics of player-driven markets a problem.
Hmm.
A shop doesn't really make money on those Friday Night Magics or armories or anything else, right? They make money selling packs.
Hmm.
Think about how many old sets you actually want to buy packs of right now.
None.
Yeah, that's part of the problem in the way that this game is designed. It
I
doesn't have the same lottery ticket draw over the long run, which is great. As a player game, it is awesome to be able to get everything you need and all that stuff. It's
again, I think that is
bad when it comes to making a shop stay alive, because if I'm playing standard, right, when I was going to the shop and playing standard on Friday Night Magic and doing that whole
Mhm.
thing,
Yeah.
every time there's a new set, I could always reach back a couple sets and get something, and there's a chance you get a crazy mythic that's like 20 to $50. Happened all the time because of
Right.
the other formats, because of the other legacy style, because the way the packs are designed, you don't have repetition in them as much, right?
Sure.
Like, I remember opening a case of stuff and only getting maybe 4 to 8 copies of one card, of a single card, and that was like a very common card. And
Right.
so the higher end stuff, you even opening a case, you get like one or two, right?
Right.
That is not how it is with Flesh and Blood at all. 90% of the stuff you get is repetitive, and you don't need it anymore.
Sure. But
Which
again,
is that makes it less of a lottery ticket, which makes it less of a driver for revenue for stores.
that I disagree with. So something that I've noticed and I think the not wanting to go back and open older packs is a you and I problem. It's a players like us problem that have been trying to build out play sets for the past year.
Yeah, but think
So,
about it, Tommy. We've been playing for 1 year and we got to this state.
but how much money have we spent this year, John? How much money
I
does the
have
average
no
player?
idea.
Exactly. So, like, again, I think it's like a player like you and I problem.
Well, but if you can't keep players like you and I buying stuff, then your store shuts down because the players that can't afford much aren't going to keep a store open. You know what I mean? You have to be able to get those higher ticket. That's what I mean about the whole collector side of it.
Yeah, no, I
Because
agree.
a collector will come in and buy a box while they're there at the night just to crack the packs or to do a draft with their friends or to whatever, right? With Magic.
I mean, I went to painting. I went to painting on Thursday. I skipped draft, did the
And how much
painting,
do you spend at painting?
$0.
Yeah.
But
And
then I
why'd you do that?
paid,
Because draft got boring.
yeah, but while I was
See what I
there,
mean? It's not keeping the store open. All your arguments are helping mine.
while I was there, I bought a contrast paint, which is like $7, and then to go with my new Tau models, and then I got a box, just a loose box of Dynasty. I did. So
Well,
I
that's cool.
opened 3 cases in one because I still wanted to open more because I
Yeah.
am trying to
I
force this Arachne. I haven't talked about my opening experience yet,
well, yeah, we'll
but
get there. Sorry, just because we jumped topics a
yeah,
little bit, because this is kind of interesting
yeah,
to
oh,
go down.
absolutely.
And let us know in the comments if we're totally off base, because I am curious what other people think. But it's like
I don't think we can
I,
be
I
off
will
base because
say
this is our
this is
opinion.
this is one thing I want to lay out though. Despite my statement about where it is now, I think this lottery ticket thing they are getting better at.
Yes,
Dynasty is a better lottery ticket than WTR by far.
they are going the Pokemon model.
Yeah, it's a great. I like it, and
Yep.
I'm a little annoyed at how rare they made things, but I love it. So the collector in me says, I like the Marvels are rare, right? They're gonna hold value.
Yeah.
The person that just opened 2 cases and only got a crappy Marvel, it's like, damn it, where's my
Yep.
Marvels?
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, opening packs is about as close to gambling as you can get without
Yes,
gambling.
yeah.
So
Yeah. So, anyways, let's jump back to you
call an
and your
orange an
opening
orange.
experience. Yeah,
But,
for sure.
yeah. So I wanted to. It was something I was thinking about on my drive home today. Was they are nailing it. They looked at the competitors in the market who are, I mean, the top two are Magic and Pokemon, right? Like they are the gold standards, and they picked the right model to follow. They picked Pokemon. Pokemon, what they've done is they have one kind of pack. They don't have set boosters. They don't have collector boosters. They have boosters. You can buy those boosters in many forms, which Flesh and Blood doesn't have. But no matter what Pokemon product you buy, it has the same basic pack where you have just as much chance to pull something as any other pack. And to get the game pieces to play the game can be pretty affordable in both Pokemon and Flesh and Blood, with exceptions, obviously.
Yeah, I was
I
going
think
to say. I think. Go ahead. Sorry.
so. Like the big bombs in the meta of Pokemon can get upwards of like 20-25 bucks, and that's about where the big bombs in the Majestics are for Flesh and Blood, minus surgical extraction, unfortunately. But
yeah, for now. We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah. And but I mean, it's one of those things where like if the Pokemon competitive scene is not really a thing. So, but there are enough players that will push up those rare playable cards to that price range, and they will hold until they are no longer meta, and then they will fall. But that's kind of par for the course.
Mhm.
And then you have these coveted alt art Marvel cards in Pokemon where people are ripping open boxes just to find these cards, not caring
Yeah.
about anything else.
Yeah, I mean, and they are gorgeous. That's they crushed this. I love this.
Yeah, and I mean, I opened 3 cases, and the only Marvel I got was a rock.
Yeah,
I like my
I'll
rock.
trade you for the axe. I don't like the axe. I don't want the axe.
I will trade you the rock for your Whisperers.
I don't want it that bad. Actually, I might. Actually, no. Let me take that back. I actually might do that. I might do that trade. We'll have to talk about it after. See what
Yeah.
all we have.
Yeah.
There's a couple of little things I want too. So
Mhm.
let's see what you
And
got.
I do have. I know you want them. I have 1 and 2 brainstorms.
Yep, I do want those. Those are two of the things I wanted. So yeah, I think we can come to a good
Yeah.
trade then.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that means I will still have 0 surgical extractions.
Yeah, I didn't open a single one.
I know it's wild.
Even
not
in the
happy about
cases
it.
of or in the boxes for the patrons. So I opened technically 2 cases and two boxes,
Uh-huh.
not a single surgical extraction in all of them.
Mhm.
Anyways, we're jumping ahead on topics. Finish your opening experience.
But I don't know. Like I feel like I didn't want to bore everyone with just opening it, but also I was just really curious and really wanted to build this Arachne deck as soon as possible, so needed to figure out what I was missing. So I ripped open all my cases. We filmed the one, but it's just I mean, you would think with 3 cases you'd be able to, even without Marvel, like not the blinged out version obviously of Arachne, but I would have expected in any set, if I opened like any set prior, if there were cards in that, like not including cards in previous sets, if you open 3 cases you at least have the playables to make the deck, unless, but this is, I
It's a
didn't,
supplement, new class and supplement. This is new.
this
This
is
is new.
this is a whole new thing.
New
and
territory, yeah.
And also, we didn't, you and I, when WTR Arcane Crew, when that was coming out, we weren't playing yet. So we were playing catch up on those and just kind of opening randomly. So I don't have a good mental picture of like, all right, if I open 3 cases of Arcane Rising, how
Yeah,
many
no,
Mana
you're right.
Conquerors am I going to get? How
Yeah,
many
it
Art of
does
Wars
it.
am I
It
going to
does
get?
it. There's a few that are hard to get. There were a few short prints, but generally speaking, you're right. A couple cases will get you everything you need
Right.
on a new class. That is true. Because
But
I
the
did. I opened
right.
them by the case.
And
I went back and just
those
opened
are
them
the
by the case.
generics. I was opening them by the box. So it was a little different. But I mean, I opened in a couple, and it might have just been a luck thing. This is all, I don't know, luck. But I opened all 3 of my Art of Wars in just a couple boxes.
Well, you suck. I had to buy one.
Yeah, and I opened a rainbow. I have a rainbow one. But it's just, I don't know. It feels off. Like to pull 0 surgical.
It's because it's a
extractions.
supplemental. Well, no. Okay, for surgical extraction, it's a whole different thing. Something got fucked up. I guarantee you.
pulled
I think Payday, or maybe it's not Payday. One of the other ones. No, it is. Payday's the name, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, I think Payday accidentally somehow got slotted into surgical extraction because I pulled
Because
excessive
they're
Paydays.
blue.
Yeah, I think somehow something got screwed up because it is clearly short printed, or like we saw in the other sets, it's clumped, and and over in Australia they have no Paydays and only surgical extractions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we have seen that happen in the past too, so it's possible
Right.
that happened again by accident. So we'll see what happens, and it's early, right? What are we, a week
Oh,
and 2
absolutely.
days, right?
Yeah.
Like give it some time. They'll probably show up. There's definitely more listings than there were the other day.
Is
The
it
price
down?
is still going
Okay.
up though.
Yeah.
So but it's catching up. Like there's 33 listings of surgical extraction and there's 45 listings of eradicate.
Yep.
Like they're not that far apart, but the price is super far apart because of market price memory. It will come down. If none of these sell at this price, people will start dropping the price. The problem is people are buying them at $50 a piece.
I almost pulled the trigger this weekend.
Oh my god! Well, that's going to make the price stay up there.
That's fine. I'll already have them. I won't care.
Yeah.
But again, so it's one of those things where part of my, like, okay, for
It's not
my,
even that good, is it? What makes this one so good? It targets blue. That's
everyone
it, right?
runs blue. Yeah.
Mm.
And you get to pull the card out of their hand. You get to see their hand.
Oh, it pulls the hand card too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah.
So
yeah,
not
yeah,
only
yeah.
do you
That's
pull a
it's the
card from
double
their
banish.
hand,
That's
yeah,
right. That's right. That's
It's
right.
a-
Yeah,
it's
that
a-
is a good card. That's right. Okay.
but you're banishing,
Fair enough.
you're banishing a card out of their hand. You
Yeah,
banish
that is a
that.
good one. That's an
Just
annoying one.
yeah. You see that crippling crush? You see that pummel? Bye bye. Like,
Yeah.
I have no memory bias of what cards I just referenced, but like 1, 2, 3, 4. I pulled 7 leave no witnesses,
Jesus.
and
Yeah,
two
I think something
masks.
got screwed up. I'm not sure what it is, but it feels like something got screwed up. It is probably a more valuable card. Like I could see it settling at like 20, being like twice as valuable as the
Yeah,
others
yeah,
because of its functionality. But 5 times, that's too high. 4 times, 5 times, that's too high. That's
yeah,
too. It's not. It shouldn't be that much rarer. So I think it's less. And the listings have been low the whole time. So I'm assuming that there's just less of them.
yeah,
But maybe they're just being bought up because they're badass cards. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, and the thing is, like,
A
I'm
lot of
looking at it.
sales, I'll tell you that.
What?
There's a lot of sales every
Yeah.
day.
So
Like it really is selling.
what I'm looking at is, all right, I've opened all this stuff. I've decided on the deck I want to play. It is Arachne. Do I open and try and find it? Heck no. Like, so what are my options? I buy the singles.
Yeah.
Like,
Or play without it. You'll live.
I don't.
It's a 2 cost anyways. Build your deck more for 0 and 1 costs,
Yeah.
and you'll be more efficient anyhow.
Yeah.
It's a good card, but it's not end of world. You know, a good game plan will beat a single card any day of the week in
Oh,
this game.
sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So if you build a strategy around 0 cost, so you bring in like Exude Confidence and Ravenous Rabble, and you know what I'm saying? Like do kind of the Red Lion Cheerio approach a little bit more, and then
Those
stuff
block
that
for
pump.
2.
Yeah, that is rough. Well, you see my point though.
Yeah.
Like build a
No, I know.
slightly different game plan that doesn't include it, and you'll be fine.
Or just, yeah, use a different blue contract.
I figured you were already running all the contracts.
Not all, no.
Oh, okay, that works too then.
Yeah. Gotta save some room for defense reactions and
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah, you could turtle
like
up
Fate
even.
Force
The
Sets.
heals
Absolutely.
and stuff.
Absolutely.
Oasis, all
Yeah.
that nonsense.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be great.
That is, I hate that deck already. God, you and your mill decks. It's the
I'm entering my
worst.
villain arc, John.
You are entering your villain arc. I remember your Demir Rogues. God
I'm entering
damn,
my
that's
villain
terrible.
arc. It's
Oh my god, that's
win or
terrible.
lose, however well the deck does,
You will hate me by the end.
you will not have fun.
That's all right. That's all right.
And
I'm
I
not
will
far
be
from my.
I
I'm
will
not
be-
far from my draw wizard deck, which is my villain arc.
I
so
will
that's
be
fine.
having enough fun for the both of us.
I'll be the only one playing. Solitaire is great.
But like, just like I am sitting in front of all my pools here, majestic enough, and there's a lot that I'm missing. Like like Pulse Wave, I had to borrow 3.
I got 3 of those. I actually pulled those.
You know how many I pulled?
0.
Yes.
Because you said you had to borrow 3, so I
Yes.
just did the math.
Yeah.
It was quick.
Well,
It was easy.
Sure, 3 is 3. But like, I don't know, it's wild. Like that was the other deck I wanted to play, and I can't play that. And I've opened 3 cases, and I can't play either deck that I want to play.
I don't know if I can part with my pulse waves.
No, I'm not. You don't need to.
No, I'm just saying in
yeah.
the trade we were talking about,
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
that's reasonable. But if I want to do the Voltron,
I don't know if you run that.
I don't know either. That's why I want to see a list before I make any decisions on that. Because if they're rare, it's going to be a pain. But they are worth something. That's for sure. I looked that up. I was like, oh wow, they're actually worth some shit.
I do have, and then you talking about Dory, I do have 2 of those Iron Song Pride full art.
Yeah, those are worth a lot.
Yeah.
You sounded very disappointed about having those, and I looked at the price, and I was like, "What? Why are you disappointed? These are one of the most expensive single cards there are in this set."
Yeah, no, I mean I'm happy about it. I just it's the art. Remember we talked about?
Oh yeah, I know you didn't like the art.
The art, the face, it just looks.
You just trade it away. Trade it for something better.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But, although I was looking at something the other day, and I saw another picture of her, and she was just as dolled up. So that is not off her actual style. Yeah, I think people were saying it doesn't look like Dory. I'm like, actually, it does. It's in other art too.
Yeah. But then, like, I'm looking at my piles here. I have everything in like by class, and I have 5 majestic Runeblade cards. 5
out of what 15 there should be, or what? How many are there supposed to be?
I don't know, but no, like just I've pulled 5.
Well, is that good or bad? Is what I'm asking. I don't know if that's good or bad. I guess over like 12, 3, you should have at least 9.
Yeah, like 12, 13. It just doesn't like the piles aren't equal, which is bizarre.
So yeah, I did all that, the class, and by the end, Brute was a little light, but everything else was about even. I think my uh, maybe Warrior was high. No, Mechanologist was high. I had more mechs, but that's true because there are actually more mech cards.
Oh, I have plenty of mechanologist cards. I
No,
got a
I'm just
ton
saying
of
like the
Riot
piles.
updates.
It's because there's actually more of them.
Yeah,
There's more in the set, more mech
yeah,
cards in the set. So that should be the second highest after Assassin.
yeah. Well, if you do want to bling out your Voltron, I got a cold foil hyperdriver, and I have a cold foil plasma mainline.
Well, damn it!
We can
I
talk
literally
trades
just
later.
bought those
Well,
because I decided that is what's going to go on my shelf. The cold foil items look cool, and I was like, "Hey, I'm going to put these on the shelf with the mechanoid, right?
yeah,
And then my Marvel.
yeah.
And if we do the trade, I'll put that Marvel up there too. And then what was the other thing? I got a couple other things too to add to it because I've been trying to figure out like what's iconic here. The only thing I'm missing is I need some iconic assassin stuff. So I think I'm gonna get the mask in cold foil,
Mm-hmm.
and I have the boots, so they can go up there. I feel like there should be something else. I actually do have a cold foil dagger, spider bite.
Ooh, yeah,
I don't know if that's really worth much though.
is to
I'm
me.
guessing not because it's only rare. It is to you, is that what you said?
Yep.
Well, then we can make that part of the trade.
I got a cold foil fan. The ornate Tessin.
Yeah, I actually never even read that card.
Seems pretty good for Agni because turns out double daggers kind of pointless.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Much rather have this one as an instant. Pay 1 resource, another Great Tunic trigger. Destroy Ornate Tensin. Put a card from your hand on the bottom of your deck. If you do, draw a card.
Oh, Regicide. That was the other one I wanted to throw out there.
Yeah.
The full art.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I'm going to put all the full arts up there. The
Yep.
Doom, Looming Doom. I have the Iron Song, and then I'll get Regicide.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just like another. I think with $200, I can basically decorate my shelf every set. Is what I'm kind of thinking I'm going to target, and then of the iconic stuff. So it's like the memory of, and then from there I'll buy the rest of the stuff as the prices come down during the next set, the following set.
Right.
I think that's the pattern I'm going to settle on. So.
Yeah.
Yep, I like it. Dragons days are numbered.
They lasted
Time to
so
pull
long.
them down and put them in the binder. Fill that section out. So, anyways, did we want to talk a little bit more about market dynamics?
Yeah.
What else was it that was on your mind besides the fact that there are not enough surgical extractions in the world?
That's a personal problem. Actually, I don't know if it's a personal problem.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people have that problem. That's why the price is
I
so
don't.
high.
I don't know if it is that people
Let's
are
see.
just
I'm gonna
buying
look at
them.
the European thing, card market.
Yeah.
See if it's any better.
I mean, again, it is still early, but that's definitely a telling sign. Like we opened a lot between the two of us.
Yeah,
and
between
not
all our
opening
groups.
any.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, agreed.
there have been pulled within our group, but
Only a few though.
Yeah.
I think we only have like 3 or 4 in total. I could be
Right.
wrong about that, but I think that's right. Oh yeah, they are cheaper in Europe.
Oh, interesting.
Let's just see. Just make sure that conversion ratio isn't crazy. No, they're half the price in Europe.
Yep.
They're clustered. Dang it. Shipping wasn't so bad. I'd say just buy it from Europe, but
Well, isn't also, I mean, Europe's having a hard economic time too, so cards might just not be across
fair.
the board.
That could just be market dynamic. You're right about that. You're right about that.
Because that means nothing to us because we have never looked at it.
That is fair. That's
Yeah.
totally fair.
Yeah.
Well, what's another card? Give me a name. Leave no. No, you're right. It's across the board because leave no witness is $6 and it's
Yeah.
11 for us, so it's
Yeah.
just double the price here.
Yeah. And I think
All right.
there's higher demand for Flesh and Blood here. I mean, I think there is high
Mm,
demand, but the amount of players, there are more players than US.
I think that's questionable. I'm not sure if that's true right now, but I know for a while there, Europe was the fastest growing and largest, like most active market.
I knew they were the
Um,
fastest growing, but I didn't know that.
yeah, I don't know. We don't have hard numbers on any of
Yeah.
this, so it's all speculation.
We could go on FabTCG and count every single player and see whether they're Europe or US.
That's how. Where is that listed?
Just go to all the events and just that doesn't even count.
Yeah, that's
That's
just the
not
best
everybody.
players.
Yeah.
Of course, we're the best,
And
even if
then
we have less players.
well,
No,
we
I'm just
have.
kidding.
I mean, we did win Worlds, so
We did win Worlds, as if we had anything to do with it.
us specifically, yes. TTP helped us win.
That's right, us,
Help the
because we're
US,
in the
yeah.
US. by
They
by
listened to our
nature of our
podcast. They became the best
religion.
players.
That's
So
right.
that's why you should
Totally.
not forget to subscribe to the channel because our country won the Worlds because
That's
of
how
us.
that works. Yeah, no, definitely not.
No.
And nor am I that prideful to ever say something like that for real.
No,
Oh
completely
man.
joking.
So any other market things that are cool, interesting, or worth pointing out?
I don't know. Let me pull it up.
Marvels, they're holding about 100 per, some lower, some higher, depending on kind of usability and
Has anything been dropping yet?
everything.
Yeah.
With the exception of, I think, Crown of Dominance. Oh no, it's been dropping too.
I do have one of those in cold foil.
But not Marvel.
Correct.
Yeah, Marvel is what I'm talking about in this case. But yeah, they're all dropping. They're all at around 100. I expect them to go down further, especially by next set, which is when I'm going to pick them up. The exceptions are the Angel and Command and Conquer. And the Emperor has technically been coming down, but there's been no sales, and it's still priced at like 1750, which is insane. So I don't know where that's going to land. At some point, people will give up and drop the price to something that people will actually pay.
Sure.
But I don't know when or where that is. There's a few items that haven't sold any either, so we don't really have price data on it.
Right.
The kimono is one of them. It's still at 120. I imagine it is gorgeous, but no one's buying it at that price.
One of us pulled it.
I know. Season Savior is also no sales. It's at 96, so that's probably going to come down. Yeah, everything else has dropped since the beginning, except the Angel, which it may have dropped for a minute, but then yeah, it shot up after that.
So what I found to be interesting is the rainbow foils are dropping, but the cold foils are going up.
That seems normal, because there's going to be a lot more of the rainbow foils, right?
Yeah, and that's kind
the
of
cold foils are the collectible. Like we were saying before,
right.
There's 3 tiers of collection here, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I think they're really hitting that part of it. It's great. It's makes me sad because my luck is terrible. So I'm just gonna have to buy all this stuff, and that's my life. And I'm never gonna be able to afford the Emperor if it doesn't drop down to like I don't even know what I'd pay for it. Because now there's like multiple multi-$100 cards that aren't necessarily functional. You know,
Right.
like I don't really need the Emperor. I don't need the Angel. And the Fable I don't technically need, but it's gorgeous. So I would normally buy the Fable. Every set I buy the Fable, right?
Yeah.
But now it's like 3 different things. Of those 3, which one do I actually want to spend $200 to $300 on? Because I can't imagine I'm getting lower than that. And the reality is, the Emperor may never come down that low. So I'll probably never have that, which is really kind of frustrating for me. But I get it. It's a good thing to do. Like it's definitely helps keep the collectors engaged. Has some real rarity built in.
Yeah.
There's good stuff to it. I'm like, what? I've been able to collect everything before. Now I can't.
Which is, I don't know. It's a thing.
It's fine. It's fine. I get everyone else's frustration at, people like me before, where they're like,
Yeah,
"Oh, I can't play my cards because you stupid collectors." It's like, well, I can't buy the fancy emperor because you stupid
but it
whales.
doesn't stop people from playing the card.
Not at all. Not at all. Which I love. I think they
Yeah,
did right by
which
that.
is
That's
the great the way to do it.
yeah, for sure. No, it's good. It's good. And there's also these other little side things that are still iconic and cool and ultimately do seem to go up in value over time, the full arts and stuff.
Yeah,
Extended arts are all above what they originally were in the history of extended arts. They always tend to go back up
yeah.
afterwards.
No, I see
So
that. Yeah,
it's kind of cool that that's a thing, even though it's not the like centerpiece of collecting, like the
sure.
cold foils. And there's also nothing that says they can't reprint it, so you don't have very good guarantees there. But so what? Still a
Seems
cool collectible.
doubtful though.
Agreed.
And
Agreed.
even if they do, like it's still the first version of it. That will
Yep.
still hold a premium.
Yep. It still has a premium. Yeah.
Yeah.
So very cool stuff in this. I mean, I think they are starting to engineer this very, very well. And I think, like we were saying, where shops can't live off of flesh and blood now, someday they might be able to. Because think of all these as singles that can be opened by stores and placed on a shelf in front of the cabinet, and people can look at them and buy them for
Yeah.
over the top. That's where they make money.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
like the model is making money on singles that are valuable. The problem that Magic caused is that they have too many damn variants and it's hard to do it. And it started causing trouble there. And then they also screwed up on the actual sales of boxes situation as that's going on. And maybe you're right. Maybe they're sucking everyone dry for the last run to
But I mean,
digital.
like think about it with Magic, like even at distribution pricing, the boxes price for the stores that are doing mass box openings, they like oftentimes they're not even getting the money back in singles.
Yeah. Agreed.
Whereas Flesh and Blood, imagine opening Flesh and Blood at a distribution level price.
I mean, I still don't think I'd get my money back.
Well, sure, you don't. No, you would never be the one to open it because that just
I have bad luck.
we
I've
would
never opened
we would
good.
hire some of our friends who have very good
Who
fortune.
have good luck, yes.
Yeah,
Rub it on their heads and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. I don't know. It's
But
just
yeah,
yeah. It's just I don't know. I think there will
did
be
you see that?
what.
Gary was opening boxes for the shop,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
he pulled the freaking
He
Marvel
pulled the
Emperor
Marvel Emperor. Yep.
for the freaking shop.
Yep.
Like that shop, they just made bank.
Yeah.
Like that's what it's about. That's how you make it work.
Well, you also
It's
that is some luck though.
it's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nuts. But that's great. Like that makes this release for that shop,
Yeah.
to a degree. I don't know exactly what their margins are or anything, but or how much they sell, but that's a big bonus.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, it's wild. It's wild. So anyways, market dynamics looking cool. Not quite enough to fill in the hole that Magic seems to be trying to leave. And if they move too quickly, then I think it will definitely hurt these games. But hopefully, hopefully that doesn't happen.
No, and I mean, there's so many Magic diehards. Like you hear the loud vocal minority of Magic dying, but it is not. It is fun.
Oh, agreed. And this is the thing. Like when I said when we went to SEG Con, 90% of that was Magic players playing Magic that weekend, and Magic shops selling Magic that weekend.
Yeah.
In fact, it was kind of hard to find Flesh and Blood stuff.
Yeah.
And this was after all this started, after the drama, after the 30th, after the Magic is dead call once again, which they have had that call 30 times in the 30 years.
Yeah.
It doesn't die unless Hasbro is killing it, which I could see them doing because they can make a lot more money just digital, and they
Yeah.
can do a lot more just digital.
Can they though? Because now they're
Yes,
competing in a different space with
yes,
different games.
yes, absolutely can. They absolutely can. They have the IP, they have the flexibility, they have the diehard players in the digital space. And if you do it in the right way where you kind of force migrate people over to the digital, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean they made the better. I mean it's way cheaper to play Arena than it is to play paper Magic.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, they can absolutely make that a massive situation for themselves. It already is. It already, like, based on the earnings, it already makes a ton of money for them. So I don't know if that's what they're trying to do. I could see them trying to do it. It would be a way to beat your competition by destroying the places where your competition. You've basically been supplementing their play arenas. Um, And if they can carry over enough of those profits over there, then they will be seen as geniuses and everyone will love them. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Hasbro doesn't start a stock buyback program and people will say it's to support the price of the falling stock, when in reality, they're going to be scooping it up for what they know is at a discount based on the current 5-year plan. That would be my guess. If you're doing corporate shark stuff, that's how you do corporate shark stuff. Hell, you might even be paying Rudy to spread this FUD specifically to crash the price so you can buy it back cheaper.
Not financial advice.
Definitely not, and nor was it actually even stated as financial advice.
No, I know. I'm
yeah, but that I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if that was something they did.
Yeah.
That's how the Sharks play.
Oh, dirty.
Yeah. So, anyways, I still believe in Magic. I'm still buying every set. I wait for the prices to come down, but I still buy every set.
Right.
I still believe in Flesh and Blood. I still buy every set of that. Probably a little too much, but I like it.
I think we're just trying to find our sweet spot, and I think it is going to be, because I really, even if it ends up being a little more expensive, I might just go the route of shelf case for the future, open a case, buy singles for a playset.
Yeah.
Because then, like, the rainbow boots. I don't want the rainbow boots. I want the cold foil boots.
Right.
So it's like, I don't know. It's like, what's the point of? I don't know. I mean, it's fun opening. It's a blast. So I'll buy a case
I think it's
fun.
Terrible for me because I play so many things. Like I literally cycled through, I think, every class in the last year.
Right, and having the full playset allows you to do that.
Yeah, and so like for me, I really do need to a degree to get all the cards, not necessarily every card, but most all the cards.
Yeah.
Whereas like you play like one or two things, right? No, you've moved on to what do you play? You played
Rhinar, Kasai.
You barely played Rhinar. If
But
you
I
played
built the deck, I played it in person.
Yeah,
And I was able to do that because
I guess you did, but you could have not done that and saved yourself some time and money, right?
Right.
I'm saying like as an optimal for you.
No,
because
it's definitely not.
You tend to stick to things. Like you were playing Kasai a ton. You were playing.
I haven't stopped.
Exactly.
When it's playing. I play Kasai.
Was it Fi you were on? Who were you on this season?
Mostly? Played Fi Uprising. I played Briar. Played Viscerai for a little bit.
You played Vis? I didn't even know you played Vis.
Well, you need to come to Thursdays.
Yeah.
And you'll see all the different heroes that I play. Dash.
So you are bouncing around like me.
Absolutely.
All right. Absolutely. I feel like every time I see you play the same boring stuff.
That's not true.
I think it's true. I'm pretty sure it's true.
Ask Thursday. I switch up more than most people.
I believe that.
Absolutely. But that's because I go crazy and have most of the cards.
Yeah.
So it's really only like, and then like I was Magnetic Pulse Wave, that Chain Ender for Dash. I didn't have any of them, so I had to order 3. So those are coming in. And that's from Crucible.
So. Yeah, I thought you had all the old sets already.
No, I guess I've put them all together of what I have here, and they are very close to being done. But as I find things, I am ordering them for things that I need for decks that I am putting them in. So I'm prioritizing play right now.
Yeah, well, that's the way to go.
Yeah. So that's why I might just bite the bullet and pick up those surgical extractions and make a poor choice. But it's fine. Because I'm going to be playing it for a very long time. So,
as we wrap this up, because we have been going on for a long time.
And because I said that, I'm not going to be playing for a long time. We'll see.
Yeah, what?
I need to find a deck that will help me settle down, John.
I like bouncing around. I can't settle down. It's boring.
I know. It's fine.
Like, that's the fun. That's the fun. The fact that the meta changes. That's what I love about this game. Every other set, the meta has a drastic change. So it's something new to solve. I love that. That's the part I like, is the puzzle.
Oh, me too. Yeah, I agree.
Anyways, last little bit. Interestingly, the Dynasty card gallery is wrong.
Oh, yeah.
I think we talked about this on something. Maybe it was a podcast or one of the things. But we were speculating that the Emperor Marvel would be the second slot. It's not. It's Dust from Golden Plains. There should be a slot for the Marvel here because you'll notice all the other Marvels have it there. It doesn't even say that it's a Marvel. If you look at the slot that does have the Emperor in it, it doesn't say there's a Marvel version. It just says cold foil. And you'll note, oh, actually, maybe not all of them do have Marvel as this thing that's set. Okay, maybe I was wrong on that part. Oh, yeah, they're just a Marvel set separate as cold foil. Yeah. Anyways, it has all. Well, actually, that is still a question. Does it have all three? Out there in comment land, if you've made it this far, tell us. Tell us, please. Have you seen a just cold foil Emperor? I've seen rainbow foil. I've seen Marvel. I don't know if there's a cold foil one. It's listed on TCG Player, but you can't trust that.
You ordered one.
I didn't order one.
I thought you said you ordered one. It came in as a rainbow.
No. That was something else. Something else, and that was actually a mistake on top of a mistake. So I'll tell you that story later because it's too confusing to try to explain now.
Fair enough.
But this card gallery can't be trusted as the end all be all because if you go down to Warhorn, which is down at the very bottom in the generic section where generics always are, scrolling to it now, it doesn't say there's a Marvel version. Oh, it doesn't even say there's a cold foil version, and there's definitely a cold foil version. Sorry, there's no Marvel version.
Yeah.
Imperial Edict, it says standard rainbow cold foil. Imperial Ledger, standard rainbow cold foil. Warhorn, standard rainbow. There is, in fact, cold foil. I have 2 of them. so there are mistakes in this list, which are sad. Yeah, so I don't know what to think. Tell me about this Emperor. Is there a cold foil regular Emperor, non-Marvel? I'm going to go with no. That's my bet.
I don't think so.
That's my bet. That's my bet. I think you're right. The only reason I think there is because someone was like swearing up and down in a comment section that they had seen 2 pulled. So, and this question came up in that, I think it was a Reddit post or something. And someone was like, oh, yeah, I've seen a couple of them pulled. And I was like, oh, okay, so there must be cold foil because you can tell the difference between a Marvel, you know?
Right, sure. But all these new players out there.
I know. There's so many new players out there. They don't know what they're looking at.
They might not.
But what's the chance they saw multiple Marvels pulled?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, that's what I think. I think there's a cold foil out there. Well, no, I think they saw something that they thought was a cold foil. Whether they understand what a cold foil is or not, I don't know. Yeah. But yeah,
I need answers.
We need answers. If you've seen a cold foil, let me know in the comments. We really want to know.
Cool. Well, I think that wraps up our discussion on our Dynasty openings. It was fun, but sad because I can play Arachne, but not to its fullest extent. And interestingly enough, the boots are like the first thing to go when you need the third AB, because you're just the way my deck works. So you want to attack once, so you don't really need to go again that often. The mask is actually more important that you hit the contracts.
Makes sense. But, oh yeah, that does make sense. Yeah.
So
they're gonna add some tech where everything you banish, or maybe it will be like anytime you banish a blue card, does 1 damage or something. You know, it's gonna be like a synergy to banish. Yeah, it's got to be like an aura. That's the next tech for Arachne. It might not be for 2 sets, but yeah, exactly. I mean, think about it. It totally makes sense to add that extra pressure in there.
Oh, absolutely.
And then it would take Arachne over the top so fast.
It needs pressure. It doesn't have it right now.
Yeah, it doesn't. It would be awesome if that happens. Anyways,
maybe we'll get a game in this week. Maybe we'll record a Talishar game.
That'd be fine. We've played a few.
Yeah,
might as well record them.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. The deck's at a good spot, and I have Surgical Extraction on Talishar Online.
That's true.
But so until next week, we will catch you guys later.
Have a good one.